Hello, it's me, Pavlo, with your professional daily dose of Ukrainian accent. Today we are going to talk about exciting new release by Hidizs MP145 Pro. And as name suggests, it's the new revision of their popular planar magnetic earphones MP145. As well as the previous model, this one will be launched on the Kickstarter. I'm not sure about the release date of my review, so Kickstarter will start either today or it started yesterday or maybe a few days ago. But anyway, earphones will be available for the early bird price of $170. Part of the money will go to the Whales and Dolphins Conservation Society, so Hidizs contributes to the marine wildlife preservation. So in the new model, they offers improved usability because weight was reduced almost 2 times, and the new planar magnetic driver, which offers improved sound signature. And in this video, I will talk in more details about design, accessory set, wearing comfort, sound, and of course difference with previous model. So let's have a closer look. Box is pretty nice, but we are getting used to that recently. It's almost cubic in shape, black in color with earphones on the top, WDC logo also sticked here. On the sides you'll get some features, company's address, and on the bottom you'll get technical specifications. Most interesting are 30 ohms of impedance and 104 decibels of sensitivity. Or speaking in other words, not too easy to drive, but also not super hard to drive. In the box, earpieces are on the top. Let's take it out. Then you'll get a big selection of different tips. And underneath goes pretty interesting case and some manual warranty card and stuff like that. Unusual color, but nice material. So it opens this way. Inside you'll get a cable with replaceable connector and a set of filters. Traditional for the Hidizs, you're getting the ability to tweak the sound with filters with traditional selection of treble, bassy, and natural. In terms of design, earphones are great. Design is inspired by whale tail and also has strong geometrical references. Unusual shape, but looks kinda stylish. And you can see that they put hidden vent holes on the face plates here and here, so they are pretty open in terms of design. And also there is a vent hole on the inner side. They became lighter in weight, noticeably compared to the non-pro version, but still they remain pretty big, so that can be an issue if you have small outer ears. For me, the fit is really comfortable. Everything is smooth, well-rounded, so I don't have any issues, but I can't say that it's the shape that will fit into any ears. Here we have spouts. You can unscrew them and replace. So here is replaceable filters. All threading and the metal work, of course, is made on a really great level. Sound isolation is about average. I expected worse, taking this open design into account. But it's not that open. Of course, in noisy environments they will leak some noise inside, but not too much. So a bit unusual location of the sockets, but actually it also contributes to pretty comfortable fit, at least in case of my ears, because fit, of course, is really subjective. Here used 2-pin connectors, no recessed sockets or stuff like that. And here is the cable. It's pretty thick, but it looks nice and it's also pretty soft. So really comfortable in wearing with low microphonic effect. So I'd say that it's a pretty good cable as a stock option. It goes to this splitter with chin slider, and below it goes to this connector. So here traditionally you can unscrew this part and then replace connector if you need a balanced option, or then put it back, screw back, and it holds. So in terms of exterior, I'd say that everything is pretty well made. In a typical company's manner, you're getting a lot of possibilities to tweak the sound to your liking. Different tips change the sound a little bit, as well as filters. Filters are working in a pretty predictable way. With the basic filter, you got treble reduction, making sound a bit warmer and comfortable, and with air filter, you getting more high frequencies, giving you more airness and more energy in the treble area. Both filters are noticeable in terms of their impact on the sound, but also they are not like night and day difference. So it's still a technical planars, and everything is revolving around that. To set the common ground, let's talk about the sound with balanced filters. As usual, I find them the best sounding ones, but of course, try all three options. And with this white silicone tips that named Anemone. And in this case, you're getting really mature sound signature. It's technical because it's a planar magnetic driver with all strong parts like low distortion and good technicality, but also it's a big driver tuned properly, so you're getting kind of musical and balanced sound signature with slight accents on the low and high frequencies. But let's talk about everything step by step. So bass is really rich, it's textured, it has a really good slam because the speed and big size of the driver allows to deliver really nice and strong punches. It's accented, but not as much as it's done in bass headphones. And also I like that deeper layers of bass are present. It goes pretty deep, but they are not dominating. It's not that bass head brain bulldozers that try to overwhelm you with that guttural rumble. Here bass is technical with really good texturing, nice amount of small nuances, but at the same time it's not focused on that technicality, and everything stays in place and sounds really organic. Bass transitions nicely into mids with zero bleeding and really good control. So overall really nice, enjoyable low frequencies if you're leaning for realism and not just raw weight. First example, it's Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson. Solid foundation, good contrast with mid frequencies and treble. So overall, enjoyable, balanced contrast. And Doug MacLeod, one for Tampa Red, and here bass is not dominating, but it's really deep, well recorded with lot of nuances, and you getting all that nuances delivered pretty well. Mid-frequencies are the main star of the show because they give you both sides of the coin. You're getting technicality, but at the same time you're getting musical representation. So these earphones go really efficient both into micro and into macro parts of the sound. You're getting good amount of details, but not overwhelming and not dominating. So it's really properly done. They are not going into thin and analytical type of representation typical for some planars. And they are good with macro dynamics and emotions with transitions with that sense of epicness. They build a nice stage, noticeably above average, not huge, but with good sense of 3D positioning and everything put in the place. Upper mids are slightly accented, but not overly sharp. And of course, everything hugely depends here on the quality of record, because they deliver the sound with a pretty good amount of honesty. But at the same time, they are not focused on the issues, but better material drastically improves your yield here. And first example is Roundabout by Yes. It's Steven Wilson's remix, and that's exactly the case where remixed version works noticeably better, because Wilson does a great job here, and you're getting crazy textured bass line, and on top of that, great guitar work, vocal, and everything is done both separately but also really coherent. And Satyricon Tro Og Kraft, pretty dirty record, but these earpieces do their best to get the maximum of this track. They give you that foundation, but at the same time not shadowing mid frequencies and delivering necessary aggression both in guitars and other instruments. And the treble also gets my praise. Of course, it's not $1,000+ type of treble, but it's a pretty good performance. Nice extension, maybe not maximum, but above average. Like, somewhere in between of average and maximum. Really good attacks and decays, proper weight distribution, typical for the planar, good, well-tuned planar drivers, and delivering really well both basic and advanced overtones. Layering is kinda basic, but slightly better than basic, so for this price range, it's a really good result. So you're getting airness, you're getting overtones, you're getting almost everything, and at the same time, treble is pretty. I don't know, not smooth or smooth, but not in terms of softness, but in terms of absence of some nasty spikes or some extra sharpness, really well balanced in terms of energy delivery. And first example, it's Nino Katamadze Violets. Great female vocal with a lot of nuances and overtones, with good saturation with that nuances, and accompanying instruments also goes nicely into high frequency area, and these earphones deliver it pretty well. And Sting, of course, it's probably me. Lot of percussions, bells, everything is well separated, nice, airy, and enjoyable. In terms of pairing, these earphones definitely deserve something good. So either it could be some decent dongle deck, or you can use something with tubes, R2R, if you want to color them a little bit towards the warmer side. But I'd probably prefer something natural with good amount of power, so about $100 plus dongle. Of course, it's just some reference point. I'm not saying that it's kind of strict rule, or some player of middle segment and higher, because they will benefit both from extra power and from the better control. Speaking about the compressions, probably the only model I can recall here, it's MP145 themselves. Because 143 is not a competitor, they are more fun-tuned and offering different signatures. So, of course, the direct comparison is MP145 and 145 Pro. Difference is not huge, but in every single aspect, Pro is slightly better. So deeper bass with slightly more focus on the impact and not only on the way to slightly more technical mid frequencies and better staging, and less aggressive but more refined treble. So, probably it's a bit subjective, but if I'd considered upgrade and not just owning both earphones, I'd probably spend some money to upgrade regular version to the Pro 1, especially at the Kickstarter price, because it's a noticeable step towards more mature and natural sound. It's not huge, but it's pretty noticeable, and it definitely gives you more of that planar feel of more expensive, higher-end earphones. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and have a great day.